Hey there, everyone. Author Lee Wright here on the Mystic Road for You. I got something special to share with you today. I was recently a guest on the awesome podcast Positive Vibes with Nicki Dennis, and we had such a great conversation. We talked about life, following your dreams, building the grand mystics universe, and so much more. I'm really excited to share the full episode with all of you right now. So, if you love positive, uplifting, and real conversations, you're going to enjoy this one. So, without further ado, here's my appearance on Positive Vibes with Nicki Dennis.
I was on the run from the police because I missed court and I knew I was going to jail when I went to court, so I didn't go. I went on the run, so now I'm looking over my shoulders. I ended up on the street home.
Welcome to Positive Vibes. I'm Nicki Dennis. Sometimes the people with the most powerful stories are the ones who decided not to stay defined by their past. Today's guest, Lee Wright, is a Kentucky-based fantasy author, content creator whose life has completely transformed in a short period of time. After years of addiction and prison, Lee made the decision to get clean in 2025 and channel his energy into something entirely different: creativity, storytelling, and purpose. Since then, he has written the Grand Mystic Saga, launched a statewide book tour with Barnes& and Noble stores, libraries, and Comic Cons, and built multiple growing online platforms sharing his message of hope and reinvention. Lee's story is proof not that no matter how far someone falls, it's never too late to rebuild your life and chase the dreams that once felt impossible. Lee, welcome to Positive Vibes.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here.
You're most welcome, Lee. So, Lee, I'm intrigued. Before writing books and building platforms, your life looked very different for you. What was
Abs
what was happening in your life during those difficult years?
okay, so I guess I'll just start with the beginning. A high school, 15 years old, got with the wrong crowd, started doing drugs, and that was I'm a very intelligent person. I've always made straight A's through school, started partying, boom, I just went, I barely graduated high school. And as soon as I got out of high school, that's when it really went dark. I started messing with, am I allowed to say the type of drugs that I was
Yeah,
using? Okay,
absolutely.
so I was using methamphetamine and a spice.
Mm.
So my life just went down the drain. I over and over again, back to jail, back to jail. Then I went to prison I got a 15-year sentence for trafficking methamphetamine. So I was in prison for 4.5 years. Uh, it's just an endless vicious cycle. I know they say
Mm.
that all the time, but that's real. That's real deal. It's just over and over again. Same thing. And the only positive thing that came out of that was I started writing when I was incarcerated. In 2009, I started writing the first book of the Grand Mystic Saga.
Mhm.
And finally, last year, when I got out of jail this last time, I said, you know what? I'm done. And that's really where my journey began. Because all my
Mm.
life, it was just a constant, where can I get my next fix?
Yeah.
Where can I get my next high? Hurt the people I love. And then I hit rock bottom.
Mm. So looking back now, what do you think you were really searching for during that? Was it that you weren't searching for anything, you were just so addicted to the drugs, it was just, as you said, that vicious circle, or were you, avoiding something, or were you searching for something during that season?
Well, I think it's I've done a lot of soul searching, and I love the AA and NA programs because they really help me meet people that care about you and that actually want to help you do something with your life instead of the people
Mm,
that I was running with from my past that was doing the same things over and over and keeping me in the problem. Um, what I was searching for, I don't really know what was missing. I think maybe God might have been a part of it. I don't know
mm,
what religion you might be or whatever. I'm not going to push that issue, but definitely played a big part in my personal journey. Uh, he's definitely helped me, I think,
mm.
by showing me my God-given talent, which was writing.
Yeah.
I believe that 100% that was a God gift. Because not
Yeah.
everybody can sit down and write a 1,000-page novel.
No, not everyone. That's yeah, sheer talent and creativity there indeed. So I'm interested to pick up on what you mentioned earlier about last year you decided that was that. Where was the moment that you realized that something had to change and really transform yourself?
Okay, so my rock bottom was I was on the run from the police because I missed court and I knew I was going to jail when I went to court, so I didn't go. I went on the run, so now I'm looking over my shoulders. I ended up on the street homeless in downtown Louisville. I don't know how much you know about Louisville, Kentucky, but that's a dangerous place to be homeless is downtown. But on the streets, on the run, can't call my family because if they help me, they can get in trouble because I'm running from the law.
Mm,
And so the ultimate feeling of having nobody to call and being totally at rock bottom. That was my
mm,
point where I said, God, help me, something change. And I went to jail. They caught me. They ended up catching me. Of course, you cannot run from the police. I learned that the hard way. And I ended up doing it this last time of almost 2 years over it. And I said, you
mm,
know what? I swear when I get out this time, I'm going to do something different. And I did. When I got out, I went and I got help from a drug counselor. And my family that I moved in with are really good people and they don't use, and they was there for me to help me get clean.
mm,
And that's when everything changed.
mm. Yeah, just listening to your story, Lee, again, we never really hear what that life is like for people that have hit rock bottom. And my heart emphasizes you must have been so alone at that time and can't even reach out to your family. And the fact that you didn't because you wanted to protect them because they could get in trouble was quite noble of you because some people wouldn't have even put that thought in their mind. But I'm so pleased and so happy for you and congratulations on getting clean, and
I
actually
just made
having that
emotional.
courage and to separate from those people and put the right people around you to help you through that.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the first thing I had to do. And the
Mm.
hardest
Yeah,
was
so
get rid of my old friends.
yeah, so just further on that, so you got clean in 2025 and completely redirected your life.
Yeah.
What helped
Okay.
you make the decision? So you talked about, yep, you got in your prison, but what was that real help to make that decision? Did you find someone in prison that got you involved in understanding what God was, or what helped you?
Okay. Um, I had a dream. I don't even know if I should tell you this or not, but I had a dream about an angel one night.
Yeah.
And it was so cool. It was like, I don't know if it was real or if it was just a dream, but the angel in my dream told me, he said, let me tell you a story. And I was like, what's that? And he said, the Virgin Mary treated the baby Jesus unlike any other child has ever been treated like their mother. She treated him and worshiped him, the ground that he walked on. And think about your own mother. And that was one of the things. It was a series of things I felt like God just really, I mean, and I don't know if that was real or just a dream, but either way, it helped me to, I'm tired of hurting the people that I love.
Mm.
That's the worst part about addiction is you hurt the people that you love and you don't even mean to do it because they want you to do what's right in your life and they're constantly hoping that you're going to do right, and then when you don't, they have to see that disappointment in their face again.
Mm.
That really has what's made me and just tired of it all. I
Yeah.
just got sick and tired. That was, I know that's cliche, getting sick and tired of it, but I was.
Mm.
And I said, you know what? I want to do something different. By this time so in 2009, I started writing, and it's something that I found that I'm really passionate about, and I absolutely love fantasy fiction, like Lord of the Rings and that type of stuff. And so, can I tell my backstory of my book now? Get into that?
Well, I was just going to say, how did writing become part of your healing and transformation? So go right ahead.
Okay. When I was 15 years old, I started playing Dungeons and Dragons. And it was me and the same four people. And we played. I was the dungeon master, so I was the one that ran the game. I was the one that created the storyline, and I played the bad guys, and then they played the good guys. And we're doing a whole video on Dungeons and Dragons. I'm gonna be releasing on my Soldiers of Truth channel pretty soon, and it kind of explains how the game is played because I still play to this day.
Mm.
But so we played the same game for about 20 years, me and the same group of people. And one day I said, you know what? I'm gonna take our game that we've been playing all these years and I'm gonna write a book about it. And that's how it started. So it started out as one book, and now I have four completed books. The first one is in print. I got published through Newman Springs out of New York, out of New Jersey, actually, right across from New York. And then the second book, I just finished editing for it. It's so exciting, and it's gonna hopefully I'm shooting for a book release in July on part two.
Uh,
So, and I actually have four written. The other two drafts are just kind of sitting there waiting to be edited and typed and all that stuff. So,
oh,
but
that's great. So I'm
yeah,
interested to know, Lee, what did creativity in your writing give you that addiction never could?
fulfillment and purpose.
Mm.
And it's actually all I really want, of course, every author dreams to publish and become rich and famous and go to the movies, and that would be amazing. But really, what I just want is to be a success for once in my life instead of
Mm.
a failure and being locked up again,
Mm.
and that's what it's done for me. I've taken my writing and focused all my energy and all my positivity into that, something positive instead of something negative, and it's
Yeah.
completely transformed my life.
Mm.
Um, Now, Barnes and Noble, I'm doing a statewide tour in Kentucky
Yeah.
with every Barnes and Noble in the state. They're promoting my book pretty heavy, and they're already planning a release party for book two, and we haven't set dates for that yet.
Mm.
But um, and and then okay, so I haven't even got to my content creation yet. This is just my writing. So my
Yeah.
books, so book two, hopefully in July. Keep your fingers crossed as a release party. So hopefully.
Mm.
Um,
That's
oh,
wonderful. So I'm
Now
I'm interested. So you've just given a little bit of a background of how you're writing and this and where you've got the ideas. So you've poured yourself into creating the Grand Mystic Saga. Where
correct.
did that inspiration for that world and story come from? So we know you were playing the
Dungeons and
game.
Dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That
where did the inspiration come from?
from me,
Mm.
from in my mind. It's so weird. Like people tell me all the time, they're like, how do you know? Because like I've got the complete Dungeons and Dragons player's handbook pretty much memorized. I've been playing for 20 years.
Mm.
So like even when I went to like jail and stuff, we would play and I would create the game in there and be working and so the creative genius behind it is what somebody pointed out to me is when I play Dungeons and Dragons with somebody, I keep notes of every single thing that we do. And so therefore I'm actually writing the next book as we're playing the game.
Yeah.
And then I have my notes drawn up and I can go back and write my book off of the
Mm.
notes. And we actually just started a character creation yesterday. We was at a studio filming in the studio a character creation for D&D, and it's actually going to be the fifth and final
Wow.
book of the series. So we're playing out the end of the game now after all these years. And
It's
there's
amazing.
and my friends love it because their characters are in a book. So it's like they'll be like, "Are you gonna put this part in there? Are you gonna put when we did this in there?" You know, and so I've got all this knowledge of what we've done over the years. So I already pretty much know how it's all going to end. I just have to write it.
I'm envisaging something like the series of Stranger Things that might be, yeah, coming to fruition for you. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, how
yeah,
exciting.
yeah, definitely Stranger Thing, but it's kind of okay. If you want to think of the Grand Mystic Saga, think of Harry Potter mixed with Dragonheart
Wow.
because it's got dragon riders and the draconian people, which are the good people of the world, and the dragons are the good guys in my world. And
Yeah.
there's four of them. When the book starts, there's four alive in the world, four dragons.
Mm,
And then you got the other half of the book, which is about the Grand Mystics of Ire, which is what the whole saga is named after.
yeah.
So can I give my little pitch for my book?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay. So in the dawn of time, the creator created all things, and he created magic in the land. He created all different types of magic. There's arcane, divine, necromancy, shadow magic, but the most powerful of them all was dragon magic. So he quickly realized that he needed some way to maintain the balance of magic in the land before the world destroyed itself. So he created three ancient sentient beings called the Grand Mystics of Ire.
Hmm.
So the first book is about okay, so the Grand Mystics of Ire, their sole purpose is to maintain the balance of magic. So they hibernate for thousands of years at a time as long as the world is at peace. If
Hmm.
that balance is disrupted, they awaken, and now they're awake, and that's where my story begins.
Oh, very intriguing, very intriguing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing the creativity of your brain to write this and getting the ideas. I'm sure your audience, considering the genres
Oh,
that you've
yeah, yeah.
actually connected,
It's doing really well.
it's going to go far and wide. I can see this happening, Lee. So,
Thank
what
you.
has it felt like seeing your book move from an idea into a statewide book tour?
This has been one of the most amazing years of my life. Um, I always thought that I was a failure because I had conditioned myself to believe that because of the drugs. It was like
Mm.
I couldn't live without them. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't focus on anything other than that. Now that I've gotten clean, at first it was really hard. It was really hard to stay clean.
Mm.
Then good things started happening to me, and I believe that something started showing me that it was there for me to help me along the way. And since I've gotten clean, it's been one blessing after another, after another, after another.
Mm.
So, like, book got published. I got in with Barnes and Noble, and that wasn't easy to do to start to get.
Mm.
It took some. A really good friend of mine works at Barnes and Noble in Elizabethtown, Kentucky, and she gave me my first shot. And that was a smash success. I sold every single copy that they had in the store and
Mm.
realized I'm good at this. I'm good at talking to people, and because it's I'm past something that I'm passionate about and I really care about my writing and I really care about it. So people can pick up on that vibe.
Mm.
You know what I mean? You can pick up
Yeah,
on if somebody cares about what they're doing compared
yeah,
to where they're just trying to get through the day, you know?
yeah. And
Um,
congratulations on being clean, Lee. I know it's never a hard feat and it's every day you've got to work at it. We all know that. Did you
It
ever
really is.
imagine during your hardest moments that you would one day become a published author?
I dreamed of it, but I never would have thought it would be real
Mm,
because of the life that I lived. You know,
mm,
just because don't get me wrong, your family loves you, but they can only do so much for you, and they want to do everything in the world for you, but you got to do it yourself. That's the key. I realized that I had to do it for myself. I did it for the people I love, of course, but I want to be a success. I just want to be a success in life instead of, and actually be able to live a normal life. And that's what I'm doing now, and it's amazing. It's like
mm,
something I never thought was possible.
mm.
And now, you know, especially with the Barnes and Noble thing, is I'm getting I've done every Barnes and Noble in the state, and I'm in with Barnes and Noble. I'm Amazon affiliated now. I have an Amazon affiliate link. I
Yeah.
got a bookshop.org link. Um, and and now I'm on a podcast with an awesome person that I appreciate the chance, and it's just continued blessings.
Yeah, yeah. So, Lee, you speak openly about manifestation and relentless belief. What does manifestation really mean to you?
Okay, so my mom asked me the same question the other day because I was trying to explain it to her, and she's like, "What is manifestation?" I said, "Well, look at it this way, Mama. If you wake up in the morning and you say, today's going to be an awful day. I don't feel like getting out of bed. I just don't want to move. You're probably going to have an awful day to where you don't want to get out of the bed and you don't want to move. So what I try to do now is to wake up on a positive note, drink my cup of coffee, and then I think, what am I grateful for today? Well, I'm grateful for this opportunity to be on this podcast. I'm grateful for all the blessings in my life, for still having some good people that are there to support. Positivity breeds positivity.
Hmm.
Negativity breeds negativity. I'm a firm believer in that. And I found that I started saying, you know what? I am not a failure. I am not I am not what they have labeled me to be, and I can be better than that. And I manifested that into my life by getting
Mm.
clean. That's I firmly believe that.
Yeah, I love that for you, that you actually had that foresight to actually understand that the energy and the power behind negativity and positivity actually changes your life trajectory. So, how important were discipline and consistency in changing your life?
Oh, very, very important. I have a best friend. She's my drug counselor, and she's like my new best friend because she helped save my life. Consistency was really, it was just getting rid of the old people, places, and things. That was what got me clean because if I'm sitting here and somebody walks in and they've got something that like meth or something that I'm addicted to, that's going to be a big temptation for me even now. I mean, I'm working on
Mm,
up till July the 14th, I'll be a year. And, so I separate myself from those people so I don't get put in that situation. And I surround myself with people that love me and that don't do that kind of stuff.
mm,
Because even the toughest person, I don't care, it's temptation is hard when it's put right in your face. There's a
mm.
big difference between it being here now and not being here now. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, absolutely. You have to work at it every day. It's not something
Oh
you get
yeah,
over. Yeah, it's every day, and that's tough. That's tough.
yeah. And it's something I know that I'll deal with for the rest of my life
Mm,
because but what's different now is I'm seeing success in my life because I'm clean, and that motivates me to never want to go back to that way of life ever again. And
mm,
that's what I've learned in this past year is I'm not that bad person that I always thought I was, and I can become something, and anybody can become something if you put your mind to it. And everybody's got a
Mm,
gift from God. I believe that
yeah.
too. Everybody's got a gift and something that they're good at. And if you focus your energy instead of on the bad stuff and focus on the good stuff, you can manifest a brand new life.
Yeah. So just on that, what would you say to someone who has dreams but feels like their past disqualifies them?
Oh boy, I've dealt with that my whole life.
Mm,
Trying to get a job for me is I'm pretty much going to have to do construction work or something to where they don't do a background check. Because if they do a background check on me, I'm automatically labeled as, oh, we don't want him because he's going to do this and he's going to do that and he's going to mess up again and we're just not going to have him or he's not, you know what I'm saying? It's just,
yeah.
so you have to constantly, it's something I still deal with. I have to deal with my past, the consequences of my past. And somebody asked me if I would ever change my past. And actually, I would not because I feel like that it's made me who I am today, and everything that's happened up to into my life up to this point is what's led me to where I am today.
Mm,
So, do
yeah.
you do you believe in destiny? Like, do you believe in destiny, or do you believe that we create our own fate?
I think it's a bit of both. I think it's
I
a
do
bit of
too.
both. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I think it's like
I love that you don't have regrets, that you have accepted and you've forgiven yourself, but there was all a reason for why you went through that because your learnings now and what you're doing with it is helping others as well. So just on that, you've also built built many YouTube channels and a
yes.
growing online presence. Why is sharing your journey important to you?
Um, because I want to help other people.
Yeah.
Because the way that I look at it is if we could help one person tonight with this podcast that we're doing, that would be absolutely amazing if you could just help change one person's life in some
Yeah.
shape, way, or form. And you can, and I just want to say, you, anybody can do it, and it's really hard, but with the right support and the right environment, you can accomplish anything. You
Yeah.
really can. You just got to make up your mind. That's the key. You can
Yeah.
go to 100 meetings or 1,000 meetings, but if I had to make up my mind that I was done before I was done, and
Yeah.
that's what did it.
Yeah. And just with that, Lee, it just takes one person to help, and then the ripple effect will help go on from there. From that one person will help another person, and so on. You never see the extent of change that you make just by helping that one person. So, Lee, what message do you hope people take away when they hear your story?
That what message? Okay, let me think this over. You can do anything that you put your mind to. The old cliche, that's the realest thing in the world. Your mind is your most powerful tool because if you say today's going to be a good day and I'm going to do this today, I'm going to do that today, that's what you manifest in your life because that's what your mind is centered around focusing on that for that day and you can create a good day and it's not always going to go the way that you want it to go. But for me, so far it's gotten me clean. And my YouTube channels, that's probably my favorite thing that's going on in my life right now is my YouTube because especially my Soldiers of Truth, because it's all about ancient mysteries and yeah, like history's greatest mysteries. You know, I did one on like Cleopatra, the seven ancient wonders of the world, Medusa. I did one on Jesus raising Lazarus from the dead, cherub angels. Any type of that's the type of content that I put on my YouTube channel because that's another thing that I'm passionate about. I'm really big
Mm.
conspiracy theorist and I love a good conspiracy and stuff like
Mhm.
that. So that's what my channel is focused on my Soldiers of Truth, and that's my TikTok as well. And
I'm
my
sure
TikTok
that,
actually, yeah, got monetized recently. So that was exciting.
yeah, I'm sure some
YouTube, I'm working. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sure our listeners will be looking those YouTube channels up and listening to your stories indeed. So,
Yeah.
Lee, how can someone begin rebuilding their life when they feel they are starting from nothing?
Well, there's lots of places you can go to get help. Halfway houses, sober living houses. The sad thing is when you're in addiction, a lot of times it seems like in my experience, when I was in addiction, it always led me to being homeless and on the streets, and I didn't even care because I was
Mm,
just worried about the high and the drugs. That's the point that it took me to. And looking back on that now, I'm like, why did I live like that? So what I did,
mm,
and I knew I had to do it when I got out of jail, because to say you're going to get clean in jail is one thing. When you get out on the streets is another, because
mm,
you're free to do whatever you want out here. So what I had to do was I went straight to my drug counselor and told her I needed help. And I went straight to a meeting and I found a sponsor. And my cousin, she is the same age as me, and we grew up our whole lives together. So we did the partying thing together. And she's been clean for like 8 years.
mm,
So I went to her. People that's the biggest thing. When you get support, that's what keeps you clean. People
mm,
showing you that they care enough about you to help you.
mm,
Because when you're in your addiction, you kind of just feel like nobody cares.
mm,
And it's not that they don't care, it's just that they don't know what to do to help you.
mm. Absolutely. It's, yeah, surround yourself with people that want to support you and, yeah, a positivity in your life, not a negativity. So, Lee, can you share us the moment where you realized life was truly changing?
Okay, this is a good story. That was a good question. All
Mm,
right. Um, the book getting published and everything is something that I've been trying to do for a long time. Now, when you publish through a vanity publisher like I did, you have to pay so much up front to get the book edited and into print and stuff. And it was quite a bit of little money. And a friend of mine said, I'll make you a deal. I'll pay the money to get your book published. You'll just stay clean. So that
mm,
was one of the first things that happened. And of course, he kept his word and we got it published. But I think that the point that I realized everything was changing for me was when I got my first book signing with
mm,
because I got two in a row. I got the Elizabethtown book signing. She finally said yes to me, and then the next day I went to pick up a sign that I had made for the book signing and stuff. And this is kind of a cool story. I was sitting in the I walked into the Barnes and Noble in Louisville. She's done told me no twice because Barnes and Noble don't usually do book signings with authors that are self-published. It's usually traditionally published, and so, but I guess they liked me and gave me a chance, and that's what got my foot in the door and got everything started. But I walked into the Barnes and Noble in Louisville, and she said, "Okay, I'll give you a shot, Lee," and I was like, "Thank you so much. I promise I won't let you down." And I went out in the parking lot, and I realized this is really happening. This is really my dream that I've had my whole life because I've always dreamed of becoming a published author. And I always said if I could just sell one copy of my book,
mm.
I would be a happy man.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
started crying. I
yeah.
actually literally started crying. I'm sitting on the parking lot crying like a little baby because I'm happy though, because I can't believe this is happening.
Mm,
And a Jelly Roll song comes on the radio talking about God. And it was kind of a cloudy day out, and this hole parted in the cloud, and a ray of light shined down on the land behind the
mm,
store. And I just felt like God was saying, hey, keep doing what you're doing, and I
Yeah.
got you. That
Yeah.
was the point where I really realized things are really starting to change up for me,
Mm.
and it's I'm doing it myself by staying clean.
Yeah, that's a beautiful story, Lee. I just love that because there's so many messages in that of when you actually truly experience life. You see those signs, you see those moments, and you actually truly take them in when you're just
I got
walking through life
goosebumps.
or in a world where you're not participating in life. That's where you miss all that. So the fact that you've come out of this and you're actually experiencing life and seeing those signs, it's so beautiful to hear. So Lee, can you share one lesson addiction has taught you about yourself?
I have to be careful with the things that I do. I have a very addictive personality.
Hmm.
So, like, I get a tooth pulled. I'm not getting pain pills for it, for
Mm.
sure. Uh, Ibuprofen, and it works just as good as I mean, I've learned about myself that I'm an addict and there's always a chance. So I always have to one day at a time. That's
Yeah.
the best way to explain it. I have to take it one day at a time and make sure that I don't put myself in harm's way
Yeah.
as like, to where I could be tempted or fall off. And if I do, and not every day is perfect. Everybody has bad days. But
Mm.
when what I've had to learn to do is deal with stressful situations or things that are out of my control without running to drugs for it. Because that was
Mm.
always my go-to for everything in life. And I realize that now I see it. Having a bad day. Oh, I'm going to go get high. Oh, this was a great day. This happened. Let's go celebrate. Let's go get high.
Mm.
Uh, so everything revolved around the drugs. So I've had to find something else to replace that with, and it was my writing and my YouTube and my social media, and I found out that I'm really good at it and that I love it. So
Mm.
that I think that more than anything has kept me clean. It's keeping myself busy, having
Mm.
a busy schedule, not having loose time on my hands to just, oh, I'm bored. What do I do?
Mm.
Finding something that interests you and that can help you change the way that you're thinking, change what you're thinking about.
Yeah. I love what you just said there in regards to, and I believe there'd be a lot of people out there that resonate with what you said. You're having a bad day, so you go for drugs or alcohol. You're having a good day, so you go and celebrate with drugs or alcohol. There'd be so many people that would resonate with that because that's their vice, and you've changed your vice to your writing and your YouTube channels. But also, I love the advice that you gave in regards to take it day by day. And that's where if you set little mini goals day by day,
Absolutely.
you're not putting yourself under pressure day by day. And also, if you're having a bad day, still be kind to yourself. Don't be hard to yourself. Still be kind to yourself. So, Lee, if positive vibes were about believing transformation is possible even after rock bottom, what does that belief look like in your life today?
I know that I know this for certain. If I was to go out right now and do some drugs, everything that I've worked so hard for would fall apart and I would end up right back at rock bottom, whatever that would, and maybe even dead. I look back over the years and I'm really lucky to be alive today because I mean, I've lost so many friends to drugs over
Mm,
the past, especially in the past 5 years. It seems like it's just escalated. And I don't want to lose my life. I love my life and I don't want to throw it away on something that's useless anyways.
yeah.
It's a deception. I believe it's an evil deception to think, oh, I gotta have it. I gotta have it. It's going to be fun when I do it. It's going to be the best time of my life. But then it's not. And then I'm right, once you do the first one, you can't stop again. That's real.
Yeah.
I have to maintain complete sobriety in everything I do. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just going to have to be it for the rest. And I'm happy with that today. That's not before that seemed like an impossibility to me. Like I couldn't even imagine going a whole day. But now I couldn't imagine going back to it because I see there really is a life after addiction if you
Mm.
just work for it.
Yeah. Well, you are here now, Lee, and we are glad that you are here. So, where can our listeners connect with you, follow your book tour, and explore the Grand Mystic Saga and your online platforms?
Okay, so let's see. I'll start with my TikTok and my YouTube channels, the Soldiers of Truth, and it's actually the Soldiers of Truth and then the number two. So if you search for that on Facebook or TikTok, that's my big channel, and it's all about ancient mysteries. And like I was saying, I got some stuff on there about UFOs and Bigfoot, and and it all ties into fantasy. And then I do a lot of history stuff too. I love like ancient history, like Egypt and stuff like that. And I'm actually just started today a new series. It's going to be called Presidents of Valor. And I'm going to do certain videos. My first one's going to be about George Washington and his life and how he founded the country. Obviously, he's number one president, so I'll start with him first. And then do a couple videos on other presidents. I don't know which ones yet. I haven't made it that far. But okay, so that's my two. And then on YouTube, there's also the Mystic Road for You, but it's the Mystic Road and then the number four and then While You. And that is my author's journey. So you can like I do like this podcast will be on that channel.
Hmm.
Uh book tours, I do live TikToks, I post on stuff on there. And just I was on the radio on WBRT in Bardstown, that interviews on there.
Yeah.
All my social media presence for my book stuff is on the Mystic Road for You. Now, if you want to add
Wonderful.
me on Facebook, I'm author Lee Wright, and then on Twitter or X, it's Lee Wright 16508.
Wonderful. I'm sure our listeners will be able to find you on one of your platforms as you're spread across a lot there. So I'm sure our
Yeah,
listeners will be
yeah.
looking you up. So, Lee, what final encouragement would you give to someone trying to rebuild their life right now?
If you feel like it's too much for you, get help. Number one.
Mm,
Always you can call somebody. Find a meeting. I know that sometimes it's hard to just go out and meet new people, especially when even if you're still using, you can go to a meeting and meet somebody that is there to help you.
mm,
There's always people. I've never been to an AA meeting where there isn't somebody there that really isn't trying to help people. That's the best place to go to start. I would recommend finding a counselor. And if you feel like you can't stop, go to rehab.
mm.
Easier said than done, I know. But I mean, I went to a rehab in Bowling Green, and this happened before I went to jail the last time. But I think it's what actually planted the seed in my head to like, hey, I went to a rehab and I was there for 6 months and I stayed as a peer mentor. And then I actually got my peer support specialist license. So I'm a certified peer support specialist, but I relapsed. And
Mm.
then when I relapsed, it was right back into jail again. I mean, it was like it wasn't even 2 months. And I said that was, and then of course I told you about I went on the run and then I
Yeah.
said, you know what? There's got to be something better out there, and there is.
Yeah.
And just getting somebody to help you is the big part because you really can't do it on your own. I
Mm.
mean, unless you're a very strong-willed person. I'm not going to say you can't do it on your own, but I had to have some help when I first got clean.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
just the bottom line. for me. So
You're so right, Lee. And there's so many people out there that want to help others like yourself that have gone through lived experiences and wanting to help others. So you're so right in that regard. Yeah, absolutely. Well,
yeah,
Lee Wright's story reminds us that our past does not define our future. With courage, discipline, and belief, even the darkest chapters can become the beginning of something extraordinary. This is Positive Vibes with Nicki Dennis. Sending you all love and positive vibes. And thank you, Lee. Thank you for sharing your story, your journey, and your wisdom with us today.
thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure, really. I just hope that somebody gets something out of this today, and can realize that you can change your life. All you got to do is just set your mind to it.
I'm sure they will, Lee, and you are a lived experience showing the way. Thank you for everything that you do for humanity.
Oh,
Sending you
well,
love and
thank you
positive
for
vibes.
love and positive vibes. Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome. Bye for now.
Bye.
Just stay on there, Lee. I just stop Paul.